Wide Scope Academy. So today we're gonna teach you how to make a program on reversing the order of strings. Before we go on for that, we must have to take a look what exactly the strings means to be. So basically strings are just a combination or collection of char type data. So in order to combine all the data types of char type, we must have to create an array type variable to store a kind of string value. So let's have a look at the declaration of the string or array of characters so as to store the string. So here's what we do to declare the array char A. So before we proceed, first have a look what we have done. We have actually declared a kind of character array A. Array is basically the variable of array type. And this variable is a pointer to the first index or the first address of the array segment. So let's say it contains the index of 20. So what it means to be? Let's have a look diagrammatically. So the execution of this statement invokes the building of the space for storing our string. So basically, when we declare an array of char type, we actually contain the number of segments for storing in each segment a type of char. So let's see, if we have declared the index number as 20, so there's not proper appropriate space, so I'm not making them whole, but for your help you must consider it as 20 segments. The execution of this statement to make the space in the RAM for storing our characters in 20 segments. So basically what we do is, for storing or for making the array of char type, we only get about 19 segments to use to store our characters, and this one segment left at behind is referred to as null character. It basically makes our string to stop at that place only and execute all the characters before this null point. So now let's have a look what actually a character type space counts in our RAM memory. So basically this first segment and all these segments will contain 1 byte data, as we have done in the previous tutorials that our char type variable contains 1 byte space in our memory. So when we add all these pieces, it will constitute the memory of about 20 bytes. So 20 byte memory will be taken over by this array type variable. So we have done so far with that. I hope you understand what exactly string means to be. So now see, all the values will be stored over this place, and here on the execution of this statement, when we create the memory, after that let's have a look how the memory is taken over by the characters in these places. So let's have a look for the initialization. When we initialize this character type, we don't need to initialize the index number for each of the character as we used to do in the array type of different data types of, for example, let's say int type. But in this case we don't need to specify the index number. We can only specify the name of the variable so that we can input our string type. So let's see. For example, we have inputted the value by the user. So let's see what will I write. I will write the statement C in A. This statement on execution will let the user to input the value in this place, and which further stores all the values character wise in our string. And this thing goes on until for what space you have given to the string or how many characters you have specified in the console input. So here we go. And priority. You have to take this in your mind that this input of the character should not exceed the null point, otherwise it will give you the garbage value. So, and let's see, now I have to teach you how exactly we can reverse the order of the string. So basically, for doing this, let's say I have created an array of char type which stores let's say 5 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for storing the value, and last one for the null character. So what exactly happens when we declare this one array type of char type, where we are gonna store a string. Let's say I have written something here, you can say girl. So this one variable will take part in the memory, just in the following space, and in order to reverse its order, firstly we have to calculate how many characters it has taken. Since we are not aware how many characters this or string type have taken in this memory, for doing so we ought to create a kind of loop which will calculate, which will increment the value each time until the null point is reached. So when we one more thing, one thing I have given you wrong, just to teach you what exactly needs to be. When we input this value, the null character automatically shifts to this portion, and here the null point will be defined, where this character type variable will end and our string will be end over here. So what exactly it means to be, to reverse the order of array, we specify this order in such a way that the last character placed in our string will take the place of the first character, the second last of the second character, and so on further. So it depends on what have you created in your string. In order to do this in our program which we have discussed today, we have created another array type variable. So basically what will we do? We will take a loop. Let's say I am going to write the loop for integer type of I is equal to 0. Okay, so basically I is initialized to 0 at the beginning of the loop, and second time we say it will go on until this char type array variable does not reach its null point. So let's say until the AI not equal to the null character. That means this is a kind of condition. Unless the value of this index number not equals to null character, the loop will go on recursion unless this condition is reached. And on going each time, the value of I will be incremented. So value of I basically defines the index number of our character. So until it goes on, we can specify a kind of another variable over here. Let's say it's a integer type of count, so which is pre-initialized to 0, and in this loop it will go on like count plus plus. So what exactly is happening over here? Unless or until the null point is reached, the loop goes on recursion. It goes on repeating itself, and on each repetition the value of count is incremented by 1. So in this way we count actually how many number of characters or how many data our string contains, how many number of characters our string contains, and after that we create another array, or let's say it's a kind of temp, as I have discussed in my program. So it's a kind of char, let's say temp, and we can also give it the same place. I think that's number 20, let's say. So what exactly happens after doing this? We started running the another loop in the reverse order, and in that reverse order we go on taking this value and placing it in reverse order in our newly created array of char type. This belongs to this, and here the last value will be put in the first segment of the next loop, the second last to the second segment, and it goes on until it ends. So that's all. I hope you are clear with this topic. Now let's have a look at